According to a witness who has spoken to the January 6th Select Committee, Donald Trump's then Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, was actually on a phone call where the march to the Capitol was planned out. They talked about the route, they talked about who was going to be there, who was going to lead it, and of course, kind of what they wanted those individuals to do once they got there. Now, this, of course, is new information, the fact that Mark Meadows was on that call. If, of course, the testimony is accurate, we always have to take that into consideration. So assuming all of this is accurate, what does it tell us? Well, it tells us that the march to the Capitol, that of course turned into the Capitol Riot, did in fact involve planning from the White House itself. But that's not actually new information. See, the original plan was to actually have Donald Trump lead the march. And that has been common knowledge, okay? That's something we have all known about for quite some time now, is the Secret Service that was like, hey, probably not a good idea. So Trump didn't go through with it. So if that was the original plan, it really does make sense that Mark Meadows would in fact be on that phone call, which of course does corroborate, based on what we know, this new testimony. So it would appear, obviously, that this is something the White House would have been involved in planning if Donald Trump was originally intending to go along with them to the Capitol. Now, it's the rest of the information, of course, that is the most vital. We knew from the beginning this obviously had some kind of ties to the White House, given Trump's plans, given the information about the Secret Service, even telling him, no, don't do this, this is dumb. So we knew, again, they wanted in on it. So the question is, what had they planned on doing once they got there, right? That's the $10 million question. Why go to the Capitol? What are you going to do? Just stand outside? That seems unlikely, right? That doesn't seem to serve any legitimate purpose. You already had your crowd gathered. You already knew what you wanted, which was to overturn the election results. So why leave the ellipse in D.C. and go to the Capitol if not to storm it, right? See, that I guess would be considered the missing piece of the puzzle at this point, but it does appear that the Capitol Riot Committee is trying to put that piece together right now. And this testimony, of course, could prove to be what puts that final piece into place here. What was the ultimate goal of taking it to the Capitol building? They knew you were already in D.C. They knew you already had, an unfortunately large number of people who wanted to overturn the election results. So why go to the Capitol if not to intimidate them and make it seem like you were going to do something? We'll find out, but in the meantime, the committee's work continues, right? They've got more information than we know about, which is always a good thing, If we knew everything that had happened, basically if everything that had been reported is all that had happened, wouldn't exactly, paint a good picture. But this is what we know now. There's plenty more we don't know. Hell, Liz Cheney even came out in the last couple days and said they're looking at special criminal charges to possibly recommend for Donald Trump. Special, not just your average everyday criminal charges. They're trying to go special on him. So they know a lot more than they're letting on, but of course, occasionally we get the, little bit of leaks like this, which keep our faith in the committee going. Because without them, we would be left to assume that nothing was moving forward and that there wasn't a whole heck of a lot of information to go on. But things are moving forward the way they should be. I would still much rather have a special prosecutor at the DOJ looking into this, but I do remain optimistic. And as more and more information continues to trickle out, it is almost becoming undeniable that Donald Trump's White House was involved in every aspect of what happened that day. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel, We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.